Hey guys, Basil Wolf from Grayson Hobby, and today we're going to do some maintenance on our Jumper T16.
So, in the event that the inevitable happens and you drop your radio and you break a switch, how do you replace it?
Yes.
That's the question.
Right. We're going to show you not only how to replace your switch, one of these little toggle switches, we're going to show you how to replace that roller wheel because...
that's probably the two most... The switches can wear out or break over time, and the roller wheel can wear out and break over time, just because it's the most used parts on the radio. So we're going to show you guys how to change the roller wheel and how to change one of the switch assemblies.
And not only we're going to show you the switches and the roller wheel, we're going to be, well, since we're inside, we're going to show you how to adjust your gimbal and tensioner and throttle ratchet, all the good stuff.
Guys, so if you're needing parts, switches, plates, all that accessories and all that for the Jumper T16 radio.
Or the Jumper radio.
Or the Jumper radio itself. If anything Jumper related
FrSky
that we carry, go to GraysonHobby.com/Jumper. And then everything should be there.
Yes. Okay, before you begin, remember that is my personal one.
Yes, so we're going to take this crossfire module off and throw it across the room like Basil does. So we're going to take this guy apart, get it open, because we're going to change out the switch and the roller wheel, which is common wear parts on this kind of radio. We're going to take the SD card out.
Careful.
You got to push it in, it click, and it pops out, and then you got to hopefully have small enough hands to get that out. And then I'm going to go ahead and unscrew the antenna, get it out of the way.
No, that's the one we actually did the mod on, or the...
from the last video, yeah. So now that we put the internal module on, we're going to take it apart. And it's a couple screws, so you need a 2.5 Allen wrench and a little small Phillips head screwdriver. So, you got to take the grip cheeks off. Take the grip cheek, take the grip cheek.
I guess you could wear these out after a time, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a part that might wear out.
It's in your hand, you get sweaty, and you work in your car.
Dirt, grime, glue, you spill super glue on your radio, and stuff like that.
We're going to change the case next video, right?
No.
That just means I'm working.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah. All right, so how many screws we have? We have two up top.
6 little Phillips head screws and 2 2.5s to get this thing apart.
So we got 2 here. I'm going to guess 2 in the middle.
2 in the top, 2 in the middle, 2 in the bottom. So,
so I noticed you had a little film there.
yeah, I'm just doing that to try to keep it level for you guys in the video. Pull the top plate straight up, get it out of the way.
All right, what are we doing again? All right, so here's all our parts. We're not going to use them all, but we got all the parts.
Yeah, this is just an example of switches and all that. Now, corner switches, if you drop the radio, you're more likely to break a corner switch. The roller wheel from mashing it, getting frustrated trying to learn OpenTX if you're new to it. You'll wear out a roller wheel possibly. But that was a common wear item on even Spectrum radios too. I'm going to go ahead and just put this back on, guys, just so I don't have the wire dangling around here. Okay. So I'm just going to put 1 screw in there to hold that. And then as far as the top corner switch, we're going to replace EF, which is a very common one to break. If you drop it kind of thing, it seems like that's the way it always falls. Maybe the radio's heavier on the side, I don't know. But I have this little tool here. I actually got like a little replacement end cap kit on like Amazon, eBay. It was like $10 a while back for one of my other radios. This guy right here is a nice little tool. If you don't have this, you can use super thin needle nose pliers. If you take like a Dremel tool and grind it to those flats.
I've done that and I scratched the radio. My old radio.
The other option is getting brass tubing the same diameter.
I would just go with the part you have and just buy the part.
So this little guy right here, we're going to use to get it apart, which is nice to have. Because these loosen up from time to time on every radio I've ever owned. The switches have loosened up, Spectrum, FrSky, everything. And then you just drop it on here. You got to put it in the middle spot.
Okay.
Basically, a little tab to get in there. And there we go. Look at that.
Okay.
So again, you can do it with other tools, but you just need something. If you have an old flathead screwdriver at home, you can actually slot it too if you really want to. Take a piece of metal aluminum, bend it down. You just need something with 2 tabs that can go around this piece.
Highly suggest this, as I broke or scratched my radio up last time. Not this one, but the FrSky.
So the switch module we're replacing is EF. So let me get one of these real quick.
SE, you mean? Oh, EF. Okay. Yeah, so EF is...
so this right here, you'll notice it comes with a new ribbon cable and that already on it. So we're going to replace both the ribbon and the switches.
Okay. That's kind of intimidating.
So in order to get to the EF switch, we do have to take some stuff out of here. So this little slider is going to have to be removed with 2 Phillips head screws. Let's see if I can get flat again for you guys. Sorry, I knew this was going to be a little harder to show you guys, but a lot of people have been asking on a certain part of this, and this is why we're doing this.
Okay, so you're just going to remove...
Yeah, and having a magnetic screwdriver is very handy on that. So we're going to get that out of the way.
All right, now this is the part I always
taking the screw out. And be careful with the ribbons, guys. You don't want to twist them, kink them, bend them, anything like that, because you could damage the ribbons. But, you know, lay that off to the side for now. So, naturally, we're going to do the hardest one to replace here, not the CD.
This was not practice. We did that.
Yeah. There's 4 screws holding the gimbal in, it looks like here. So, I'm going to go ahead and
video on how to do the gimbals
remove the gimbal. Yeah, so if you have to upgrade your gimbals, this will also work. And these screws are the common screws. The Phillips that they're using is the same between the switches and the gimbals.
Okay.
So
now we kind of lost track of where everything goes.
No, it's fine. I know where everything is.
All right.
These are just screws.
So,
it's all on the right hand side.
Okay. Just point to where they were up with their...
Yeah, I'm going to show with the gimbal up. So you have each corner, 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Those 4 corners are the screws.
Okay. So that you can keep that connected, right?
You can keep it connected, but we're going to unplug it. I'm going to unplug it from the main board, I think. That one looks like it might be easier. Oh yeah, much easier to unplug. So I got that unplugged there.
Okay.
And let me put that back in. So that's our gimbal. I'm going to get that out of the way.
Looks like I'm not flying anytime soon.
So we got the gimbal out. Now the switches will drop straight down here.
Okay.
And then this is the part a lot of people ask about. So I got a lot of customers send messages saying, hey, I don't know what happened. I broke the tab. What do I do?
All right.
These little tabs are like PC boards. What you do, you don't pull them out. You underneath with something and pop them up. You can actually use your fingernail if you had a fingernail. It literally just pops out. I don't know if you can see that.
That little white thing pops up.
This little hatch underneath here from the front. Literally come in here. Don't put any pressure on it like that, and you just literally underneath and up.
Okay.
And I don't know if you can zoom in on that, but so that part right there is actually tapered to get under and pop it up.
Okay.
Once it's up, you just slide the part out like that to put the new one in, and you're gonna get it lined up in there. And this is the fun part. Let me turn this, guys.
So just work slow.
Yeah, you gotta be, you can't monkey around on this stuff because it is smaller. Having smaller hands is great, guys. If you got kids and all that are good with their hands, then get them on the job. So this part right here, you're gonna line it up with the tab up still. Make sure the tab's up. Get it there, and you don't have to force it. It'll go in. There you go. You get it in. It's about, the blue doesn't go all the way in. It gets a little bit farther than the end, and then push it down.
Okay.
So you'll see just a hair of blue past it, past the little black connector.
Yeah, just like on the other one right now.
Just to show you how easy it is, I'm gonna do it. So here we go. Can you see?
Hold on, can he do it?
Let me be like Will. I'll be like Will.
Hold on.
Can you see?
Okay, yeah, you got this. Perfect.
All right, so I push it up.
You don't push it, you just lift it.
Well, you know what I meant.
Get under it, fingernail under it. Ta-da!
All right, push it back in. How far does it go back in? There you go. Boom!
He did it.
That's professional done right there.
Professional. Mm-hmm. All right, and then once you do that, reinstall the switch. Slide it up in there.
And you just tighten it in reverse order, right?
Mm-hmm. And then reinstall in reverse order.
So it's ready to go. There's a hole. Excuse me, sir. There's a hole in your radio.
Got the gimbal.
All right.
And I'm gonna put that back in. Pop it in.
And make sure
the gimbals align. There's little plastic tabs. If you look in there, there's right here and here are alignment tabs. So you want to make sure you drop it.
Point to this again.
Right here and right here are alignment tabs.
Okay.
Okay.
So there's just 2.
Yeah. So you can't like rotate it in. You have to get it straight down on there.
Okay.
And then once it's down on that, you take your screws and I back out the screw to where it's gets the threads that were already there, and then I screw it in. So I want to point something out to you guys real quick. So remember how I notated earlier that they were different or not different? So all the screws here on the 4 gimbal are the same. But I'm gonna lay these two out so you can see how close they are to being the same, but they're not. This little thin one up here that just stuck to my screwdriver goes to the top.
Okay.
So that's a slightly smaller screw in the top corner.
Okay. So just mark your dang screws when you take them apart. Don't be guessing. So why are you doing it the hard way? Or the easy way?
Okay, the reason I did it this way versus, it's possible you could probably take this plate up with several screws to avoid taking the gimbal out. But if I loosen that, then I'm dealing with several ribbon cables that are going to be under pressure. So the reason I did the gimbal is because I'd rather take the gimbal out that's one plug versus having all these loose.
So this is a 3-part system. You have your front plate, your side plate, and then
the back
plate. All right, so now we're guessing we have the right screws. Right?
We got 3 of the 4 screws in here. It's okay, guys. It's Basil's radio. So if we break it, it's Basil's radio.
I just feel safe every time anyway, so. Okay.
All right, so then we're going to put the slider in. And actually, you can see that hole's actually smaller than that hole. So that makes sense why the screw's smaller.
Okay.
So we're going to drop that back in here, and that one rolls around this way. Lined up in there.
And just screw it in. That's easy enough. All right, now
now we have our switch in.
Successfully replace a switch that wasn't broken.
So that's how you replace the switch. Now I'm going to do it on this slider roller wheel too.
Now this one we are going to replace.
Yes, this part we are going to replace.
Mine is the original version, and I think the new ones are updated.
Apparently this part originally was plastic, for what I understand, and they've changed it, but it also looks like the newer, since the first batch, Basil and I have very first batch jumpers that had the external modules, etc. They were the first Hall effect ones, sorry. But since the original release, I believe they changed this to a metal pin versus plastic, so it's more durable, less likely to break. It's still plastic everywhere else. And then the little clicky part, this part supposedly may be a little different. It feels like it has a different resistance to it. It's a little smoother of the rotary.
There's my button.
Yeah.
And then that rolls right there, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So this part right here is actually going to slide in to there, and like that.
Okay, so that's how it works.
So we're going to get this apart, and again, I'm going to replace the ribbon since it's already on this one here. I'm going to lift up the tab from underneath, just pop it up, pull out the ribbon here. Now that I have the ribbon loose, because I don't want to have the PC board, I'm going to do the ribbon first. The reason being is if for some reason it got pulled out or dropped or something like that, you're less likely to pull the connector off the board itself. So the best thing to do is pull the ribbon first.
Okay. And it looks like we have 3 screws.
And then we're going to have 3 Phillips head screws to replace this. The top screws, guys, are pretty long. They're probably about 15 millimeters or so.
Okay, let's see how close you are when you get the last one.
5 millimeter goes at the bottom, and the 2 15s go towards the top. And then you're going to take this assembly off altogether.
Wait a minute, so let's compare. So that's metal. It
is metal on this one. Again, I have not seen a plastic one. I didn't take the very first one we got, the very first ones we got apart.
Let's feel.
But will say this does feel different.
It's definitely different. This is like a hard plastic, the original, and this is like almost like a rubber. But since we're in there anyway, we're going to replace it. Just you never know.
Now this is also if your return button, somehow you damaged your return button. The return button's up here, the rotary dial's here, and then the select button on the dials right there. So that's 3 different things that could be possibly damaged or worn out over time. That's a beauty of the jumper, super cheap to replace. So this has a hexagon or octagon shape. You're gonna put it in there. Don't force it in there. Just get it to line up.
Go in there out of line. Well, can you put it in there with the wrong alignment?
No, it's gonna line up. There's no like specific keying. It just goes in. The ribbon cable goes up. You just drop it in there.
Simple as that. That's really simple.
Yeah, and if you wanted to, you could do the ribbon cable first. Actually, I think I might do that.
Oh, because it seems like a little bit. Okay.
Yeah, just because the wire bends. I'm gonna actually drop this in first.
Let's get a shot here.
lift the tab up. See if I can get that.
Oh, nice.
Sorry guys, trying to. There you go. Yeah, that just literally just slid in.
Okay.
And then drop the tab down. Now I'm going to drop this in here. And take one screw.
Remember, the long ones go up top and the short one goes in the bottom.
Got 2 long screws. And I'm not going to turn these in all the way yet. I'm just going to get to where the threads are started.
And you're going to
And then you have to put the bottom one in. Yeah. And that way, if you do it that way, they all line properly. You don't get any binding in the scroll wheel. And boom.
Okay.
All right. So now we have the scroll wheel in.
Does it work?
Nice clicky clicky.
Yeah, clicky. Clicky clicky.
There you go. And now we just need to reassemble the radio.
All right, before we put that on, my gimbals need adjusting, so let's adjust them.
Okay, so while we got it apart, guys, if you're curious, there's a couple different modifications you can do to the gimbals as far as tension, and you can add the ratchet or smooth. This is the throttle stick here. On this one, here's the throttle stick. You have this metal spring here with 2 different screws. If you turn this screw in on the one with the indentation, it'll give it that ratchet feel to where you get the clicks as you move the throttle up and down.
Which screw do you have to turn in?
This one right here.
All right, let's give it 3 clicks. 3 turns.
3 turns is probably too much, actually.
All right, then 1. All right, let's feel.
Gotta keep going.
Yeah, there we go. That's good. I like a little ratchet.
Trying to make it to where you can hear it.
There we go.
I don't know if you guys can hear that in the video.
Yeah. I'm an old airplane guy.
How's the actual feel? Oh yeah, that feels. So you like that or?
No, it's too loose. Make it tighter.
Too loose?
Yeah. Let's see yours. This is yours. Yeah, yours is tighter.
Mine,
yeah, yours is tighter. I like it tighter. Yeah, way too loose.
All right. So now that I got the ratchet's on. Okay, so that's screwed on to tighten the ratchet.
And tension is going to be.
And then the tension's actually on this one right here.
Okay.
That's the resistance of it. So between these 2 screws is how you adjust your tension and the ratchet, the clicking of it.
Okay.
Now I'm going to show you while this is apart, so you guys know where they are. There's 2 spring adjustments on the non-throttle gimbal and 1 spring adjustment on the throttle side gimbal.
That would be for the rudder or yaw.
Yeah. So when I move the stick, if you can see this part are moving right there, this little white plate. That's attached to the spring.
Okay.
So in order to make the spring tension heavier, screw.
No, leave that one alone. But
well, I would show you. I'm just showing.
I gotcha.
So this screw right here, by adjusting it up and down, is going to increase or decrease the tension on the spring. So that right there. And the reason I wanted to show you while it's apart is with the back plate on, you have access to it. So you can actually just take the grip cheek off without disassembling the radio.
That's the tension.
And adjust the tension right there.
That's for that rudder.
Yeah. Now, for the throttle spring, you can't get to that. So you do have to take the radio back plate off to adjust that.
What about the other side? Can you get to the other side?
The other side,
you have to have 2 now. One for the
you have
pitch and
one up
roll.
here.
Okay.
And let's see where the other one is. I actually can't. So you have on this radio, you're going to have, where is that tension? One right here and one right here.
So where'd you put right into the first one?
Right here and right here.
All right. So that would be that whole, oh, look, right there.
Right there and right there.
Go back, point it to it again.
This one?
Okay.
And this one.
There you go. So that's how you tension the gimbal.
Yeah, and this is for a mode 2 radio. If you had mode 1, they'd be opposite.
Yeah. All right, so now we added the ratchet, we added tension.
So just to show you guys where the ratchet and the tension are.
You don't need to take it apart to add tension, you need to take it apart to add the ratchet.
Yes, if you wanted to change it to the thing.
Yeah. All right, so now we're going to put it together. Make sure you don't, nothing should be in the way, right? No.
Module back in.
Yeah, that's important.
That way, if anything catches fire, it instantly takes out your crossfire module too.
We're gonna, when we go down, we're going down all the way.
Oh, okay, clicks in. Got it. I'm gonna flip all the switches. I like to do that to check them. Okay. Flip them all to the wrong or towards me.
Okay.
Except for the momentary, which I can do that too.
So they're all towards you or down.
And it's gonna yell at me. Switch A. Or sorry, A, B, C, D, F, or G, and then take a left. E, and F.
All right. So
So all the switches work.
Yep.
And let's see. We get into the
Now for the
menu.
roller wheel. Yay!
roller wheel
It
works.
works. Push it in.
Return.
All right. Push the roller wheel in. Okay. Yay! It works. It sounds so much better.
Everything's
All
there.
right. So now let's say we replace the gimbal.
So we replaced the gimbal, and now we need to go to System, Page.
And this is, you should do this on every brand new model anyway.
So System, and then go over here to Calibration, and push it. Oh, no, sorry. Push it. And then we're going to center all the sticks. Center the sliders. You actually... I pushed that one at 3. In there. Alright, so now we got them all centered. And I'm going to hit enter to start. I went ahead and jumped the gun on that. Center the sticks and pots, so I did that. So now that I've already centered everything, hit enter again. Now we're going to move all the sticks to their extents. So corner, corner, corner. Go around.
Same thing with the
slide the sliders.
sliders, and the
Turn the rotary knobs.
all the way to the full end
Follow
plane.
to the right. Yep. And then I'm going to just push 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm going to hit enter.
Now they're calibrated.
Excellent, Will. Thank you very much for fixing my radio. That was not broke.
Yes, I done fixed it. Good.
No, actually, the roller wheel is fixed because we had, like Will said earlier, we had the first versions, and they were different.
If you find that the roller wheel seems like it's over traveling, or you can never get it dialed in right, and you got an early jumper, it may be worth a few bucks to get the new roller wheel and the
plastic and the
switch
electric,
assembly.
yeah.
For some reason, I mean, I did mine. Basil did his. I can tell you right now, the newest ones coming out, they definitely feel different than the original ones that came out. So for a couple bucks, you can get it changed out.
Or if you, like me and build and have glue over your hands and you start rolling it and it glues it closed, you can replace it.